She's brilliant. Her name's Jenica, and she actually had presented me
Yes.
because I was like, "Where the heck are these riots?" It was like BLM riots, except they inserted instead of the George Floyd signs the Mexican flag, which is kind of ironic because I'm half Mexican. I'm like, these flags are brand new. Typically, if you are Mexican, you don't just have like a crispy brand new flag unfolded with, with everything ready to go, just hanging out in your closet. And so, you could see that this was obviously a funded riot. And so she was able to provide funding receipts and tied down a lot of these ICE riots going back to the Party of Socialism and Liberation, which is funded by an individual by the name of Neville Singham. Well, Neville Singham is a American billionaire who made his money working directly with the CCP and actually has one of his offices in China, actually across from, I think it's like their Ministry of Propaganda, or what would be their equivalent to the Ministry of Propaganda. So we actually found the funding tied directly right then and there. And actually last Congress, he was written up by then Senator Marco Rubio when Senator Rubio was on the Senate Intelligence Committee. And I believe it was Senator Chuck Grassley for a FARA violation. So, the Registered Foreign Agent Registration Act actually requires you, if you're advocating or lobbying on behalf of a foreign government, to actually disclose it. Well, he's breaking the law with that. But it's not just that. I mean, a lot of these organizations are targeting not just ICE officials and law enforcement, but they've resulted in violent rhetoric and action, not just against politicos and conservative thought leaders, but also against law enforcement officials. And so it didn't just stop there. We also found that Neville Singham and his funding was also tied to the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City, which is now under federal investigation for prior knowledge of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. As you know, they were the ones that actually took down all of their social media right after the Tyler Robinson individual was arrested. And that is another, game, or that's another rat nest in itself. They actually have ties to terrorist groups in Cuba. So there's a massive orchestrated attempt here at fracturing not just the right, but also the entire country as a whole, pitting us against each other, which is a Marxist tactic.